All right, we're back in the market August 3rd. It is Monday, and we are back for more action, and the action continues. So the market remains strong. All types of plays, whatever you look for, bounces, long, short. Bitcoin has been on fire. What time is it now? 3:59. The market's about to close. MARA. This is a Bitcoin stock, or whatever it does exactly. Marathon patent ribbon ounces purchase 700. M31S, ASI miner, shipment, Bitcoin miner. So Bitcoin continues to run. This is up today, 87%. And what do you see here? Big falling wedge. All of January came down. Eventually it's going to make its move again. And what do you see falling wedge? Falling wedge equals breakout. Now, how far it goes, it might go to here and Peter, or do this. And this is fire here, prolonged. So on the daily chart, you had this cluster here, like 350, 375. You have 4 level. Next level is like 5 to 6 level. So look at the volume here, 214 million. And this started really, Bitcoin's been on fire now for the last, really, what's about a month or 3 weeks, whatever it is. But anyway, look, pre-market here, you see this? Got your 275 move, like 250. You're in that range. You see these candles. And right here was a nice little dip. Draw your trend line over 275. Now right here, I might have threw some people off this big cross. You're like, oh, it's going down. It started 1, 2. But you have your support. Remember your 1320 EMA or your friends there. And then you have 275 support. You have to give it wiggle room. That's why a lot of people, too, they're using too big a size. You can get stopped out easy. Like one of these candles will rip right through. So you don't want that to happen. So don't be afraid to use smaller size. You'd rather be consistent or make one day it's like 5,000, then next day you're losing 3,000. You want consistency in this game. So here's your high day, about 314. There's your line, 3, dumped up. There's another pullback, 325. Another pullback, 350. You notice these lines, quarter. Then we get a 475 line. It's all algorithms. They're not going to go to like 23.5. They go around the numbers a lot. And then this came back down. So this is a great long good, your 10-minute chart. And it's even better. Look how smooth your 13 and 20 EMA, your friends there. Then we start to bend. And this is the same thing every day. You're going to have here and the length of your chart, your screen, and there it is. So this is a nice long. Could this continue? This is a huge gap up. I don't know if it's going to put it inside. They come back a little bit. Who knows with these? You got to take day by day. Let there move like that. DTSS. All right, DTSS. This is a 5-minute. Data C size. It's first agreement in Beijing, China, to install a proprietary monitoring system. This was 8:30 a.m. And let's go back to the 2-minute here. So there's your first line, 832. First little blip. And then we start to move up, 250, 3, 275. This is a straight up momentum play. So this move really from 2 to, what was the high here? 838, 839. And let's get your 3-minute. This is pure momentum. That's why in the morning, like I said, small caps, other stocks are mid-large, anything can move, ETFs. Not as much. Small caps are going to move, big moves. So this move from 2 to 8, it's a $6 plus move. You don't even need a lot of money in this. You don't need a lot of shares. So look at this length of this move. Boom to boom. 2 to 8. That is bank. Now, on a momentum play, you don't want to get here, of course, at 8. You don't want to buy at 8. So that's why in the morning you have to catch these. And like I said before, the morning moves are either going to be down here, you're going to start down and move it up here, your high. Or they're going to start the gap up maybe in the middle or the high. And once you gap up that much, they're going to fade, and then they fade down. Or they could do this, slower move and then go up the rest of the day. There's a few different scenarios. This is a typical momentum and then dump. You see the daily? and this has done this before. That's your recognition. Look at each chart. Like each chart, it's like a snowflake falling. Every chart is different. They might have similar characteristics. Like, you know, each small cap, they pump, they sometimes go up, but each chart has its own identity. And this is doesn't hold. Look at this. Spike, fade, spike, fade, spike. This is faded so many times. You put it around 3, and then that 350 level, it came all the way back to 3 level. 56 million volume. This was a great volume, the best volume that's ever done. And then let's go to the 5-minute. 5-minute here, big candle here. This is a big bullish candle. And even on these, if you want to let it run more than one candle to see what it does, you just don't want to be here and it dumps out. You can give it a few. That's why you go to your 2-minute, 3-minute. On this right here, then you have, look at this line. This is beautiful. 350 line. And then what are you closer to, 350 or 4? Your 350 line. Either it can come back to 3 or 370, wait, 325 line. This touches right at 324. And leave your mark around these lines, like I said, about 1 to 5 cents, because they might not take it right up. On this one, see the high here is 350, 348, that little line they brought us to. They didn't bring it to 350. They'll play them games, the algos, they do it all the time. So, but look at this, right here, then you have your high wick, came all the way back to this line. It's a great move on this line, the 350 line. And then on this, you're just going up each line. You can go, you know, 2, 3, 5 minute. Until you see, this doesn't even have a right candle. So here, this is the easiest chart to read. Like, I mean, if you're getting here, you get each step, you're getting closer. Like this is the quarter, this is the beginning. Right up here is probably the middle, you're guessing. Because if you're going from 2, and then you're watching each step and you're like, okay, I'm halfway through the screen here. Look at here. That's why I said all the moves is your screen. It's a funny mark. Like it's a funny way to go by that. But if you even take this out, maybe I have my volume here. It's going to be a little lower. But your screen is the length. These moves move the length of your screen. So even if it's down here and it goes up to here, you know your middle is around here. So when I see this all the time, I know my middle is probably here. I'm looking up like this has moved a lot of candles here. And then you get higher. And then your first red candle, I mean, that's the home run. You know that. First, it's the first time you got to get out. Because red candle, shooting star, that is a sell candle at the top of the pattern. Then we go down, down, then it fades. I mean, this could have did this, maybe bounce back up. They do anything, who knows? Just take what the chart gives you. Went down, fade it, fade it. Your 13, look at this big curve here. Then you have a crossover, your 20 over your 13. It's extremely bearish. The shorts took over, and then whoever got this short here, you know, crushed it. This went up so fast in what, like an hour? And this took all day to go down that fade. So this is almost like called the pyramid play. That's one of my favorite plays, pyramid up. Or more like this down. This is sort of like that, but it was straight up too much and then went down too fast. So this is a classic pump. Doesn't hold 5.94 million on float. So, and just look at your daily chart. That's all you got to see. When you saw this news, you look at the daily, you go, this isn't going to hold. It has to prove it can hold. It's like in a fight, like if you went 3 rounds, you know, in all your fights you ever fought, and then just say one time you go 12 rounds, like that's rare. That's what I mean. This is rare. If this went up here and held, it's never done that before. It has to prove it can do that. And it hasn't done that before, so that's how you know. All right, EDRY, wait, this is a weird, see, this is more of a pump, even more than that. This is just like up, immediate down in the afternoon. There's the wick, that's the pump. That's your 583 to 13 level. And look at this before, this has done nothing. This has done 37,000. This is total garbage. Stay away from that. ADT, this is a little more of a move, early, 6:20 a.m. Put in 9 all the way to near 20, and then we fade it. This is a little bit tougher. So what I mean, this ain't moved down. It started here, which isn't bad. Moved up. You have your peak here. Now it's just to prove it can get back up there. and then draw your line over 14. This is a quick bounce. This is a quick trade if you caught this, but it's a tougher move. And then it faded, really went sideways. This is ADT. ADT, 110 million. So this is a higher float. Great volume though. Guys came out of this channel. High point, broke through. MLXC, this is a former runner, I believe. Yeah, there it is. Spikes. This spike slot. This does no volume all the time. Like, look at this. 300,000, spike, spike, spike. So it's a known spiker. This chart's a little bit easier. This happened after we started. And this was at like 120, went to 160. Not a bad move. A little bit more size you could take, probably get a good gain there. COHN. This is a known spiker too. Look at this. This has done nothing here. Nothing. The volume's almost like disappeared in some of these. It's like 34,000. It's no volume. Well, once you have a spike like this, you know something's up. Something's going on. Someone's playing games. And then we double topped right here at that 20 and broke through. So this is held right now. What was the news on this? COHN float. I got like 600,000 on trade that day. This is super low. July 20th, last news. COHN+50 announced successful launch of million private funds. I don't really see news on right now, so this could be a pump maybe. See, the volume here is very low, very sketchy here. But if you're gonna play this, you move right here. It is over 15, about 33, 35. You start to see these big candles. I mean, that's very bullish. It's breaking over the line here, your trend line. And then we went up. So it's a sketchier play though. You gotta be careful. PBI. This is Pitney Bowes. This is a long downtrend, Move up, nay, and down again, but the low kept getting higher. It's one thing you notice here. And if you put your line here like an ascending triangle, broke out 43 million today. Right over 350. It's not bad. Pretty clean to read here. There's not much here. 350. Put in big candle. Probably stop people out at 25 cents. The scare of that candle probably caught newbies. But you have the 13 over 20. Nothing really too crazy here. And look where support held. 20 EMA. We back up to 525. Bounce down. So this was a nice gain there. It's 350 to 550. PBI, excuse me, 171 million. So this is a higher float. Pitney Bowes, stock rocket, August 3rd. Secures 5 million shipping and mailing technology contracts with government agency. That's news. CBay. CBay had this weird chart, gap down, another gap, channel. Broke up, big volume on up days, the low days, not much. And this came all the way to that 350 line, went below to 1329, they bounced it up. So it is what it is on that one. Move up, look at these, quick move. I think these are all misprints, these candles, I'm pretty sure. I hate that, I'm sure that is. I mean, TC2000. But this was screaming red all the way down, you're like, it's gonna bounce, and it did. 425, almost $1. Not a bad move if you caught it. CBay has 66 million float. Riot is another blockchain, Bitcoin realm in that area, and it put in huge volume the last week. Look at this. It's near the top of the trend line now. We'll pull back to the bottom, but it's breaking out. And Bitcoin's been strong. So we go over this 290 line, pretty much 290 to 280, back and forth, broke up. Another break of 340 to 390. So this is a really good long on Riot. Is there any news on this too besides, momentum? Riot blockchain receives 1,000 S19 Pro and Miners from Bitmain, sales news. All right, JMIA. This is unbelievable. Let me look at this here. I talked about this maybe months ago. Right here when I saw this is going to break out. And on these two, they're great longs if you can catch them. Just put something down. Like once they break, look at this. You hear like, oh, it's going down, and it keeps holding this low. Like the low keeps getting higher in these. Look at this. 21 today, 46 million in volume. And it's taking off after hours right now. What's the news here? The MARA stock's up 28% today. Let's see here. JMIA, what do we got here? Rising demand digital marketplace, seeing huge growth, 2020, 2028. Looking for news. I'm not saying specifically, but I don't know. Doesn't matter. Let's look at the chart here. It's obviously good. So get a big red here, red to green, red, big green candle. Then we went sideways and you're watching this. You're like, how am I going to play this? Well, you start to see this hold and this hold. So that's a good point to look at. Your 1550 line means all this. We start to break over it. You know, we head long, and that's the 5 minute, 10. This is a great long all day. You have nothing breaking this on the 10 minute. You have a big candle. These are fake outs. There's nothing like bending down or not. So that's a great long on a longer time frame. The float on this. What do we got? A float here. Let's see the float here. Are they showing it? 76 million? That can't be right, is it? But I have 6 million on FinBiz. That's weird. There's no way that's right. Let me see something. Does it say in here to float? No, it doesn't say. They check that float out. Something's not right. But anyway, it's moved, so that's huge. NXTD, spike or two. This is on the days it goes up. Look at the spikes. Major spikes and then flop. Spike to flop, I'll call that. Or pop to drop, they call it. And on the intra chart, over 54 cents, penny play. Boyle, what is this? Boyle is Ultra Bloomberg Natural Gas. I don't know if I play this at all. Well, natural gas, 3.1 million. This really rocketed today. On these charts, if you catch it, they're easy as can be. Easy peasy. Look, it's 31.50. Yeah, there's your line, pre-market. Just start to ride up at the open. 34 level, 33. You're so far engaged. You're 13 EMA and 20 EMA. You're away from it. There's no sell the whole way out. There's nothing here. Until you start getting right here, you start going down, you're touching it, bending. So this could have been like a $7 gain. Great move if you caught this one. SD, Sandridge, 2.1 million. This is coming out as a long-term move too. It's held 120 level. Not great volume, but it was a long. AVGR, this is known junk stock. Look at this. Reverse split, down, gap, all over the place. It does have a nice little gap up here. Maybe this can pump to $1 if something really good happens. Ambo, huge spike here. This is the daily chart's nothing now. No volume. All right, here's HIHO, Highway Holdings Limited. 12 million today. This is what I mean. See this move happened sort of like higher in the chart. Then we found support your 13 EMA pre-market. And this one, the top, early pre-market and fade it. Even the open, nothing happened here. This put in a lot of volume here, but nothing. This is just a short. So there's nothing there on that. IMUX, there's nothing happening here. 3.6 million. Zevo, 3.5 million. This is a nice uptrend now. TRVN. This is a really great uptrend. You had huge gap down January 2019, bounced hard, like a double bottom here in April, and we started to take off. Move up here, then your 75 line broke up, 125 line, 50 line. So this is held the whole way up. Extremely strong today, 21.4 million. Trevina looks good. There's no news here. All right, Bohr. This is a drilling like oil play. Gapped up. These move in like pennies though. Look at this. This moves in like 5 cents. So not really great to trade on that. GNOS, I called this. I think in my other video I put on StockTwits. GNOS, this is a falling wedge. I said it's going to break out. Now, it didn't hold today. Got to this. Look, your 2013 EMA bounced right back down. 109 million. And where did it bounce? 2 level. You're going to tell me these numbers don't mean nothing. Like $1.75, quarter, 20, 15 line. They all mean something. It's crazy. All right, here's 155. And there's your high today, pre-market, late pre-market. Then we bounced straight up 195. So this is a very fast move. You had a few different play areas to get in here, and then it sort of faded. So I'll keep this on watch too. Still way oversold here. Genius brands, Rainbow Rangers, now Walmart, hotels, blah, blah, blah. All right, JCat. Nothing here, just gapped up. Huge gap up. Here's a huge gap up. Like it gapped up so high in this one candle, and your gap up completely took this pre-market out. So you can't even trade that, and it just sometimes will go here and just fade down or like that. So that's the pre-market move on that. Blinn. This is a continued long. Look at this. The lows keep getting higher and higher. We were coming way down from January 19 and late or mid 2018. Now we're spiking back up. This has been on fire. Here is ELVT, which had a huge down move in March. April, so it bounced. Trend line. Now we're squeezing up here, so this wasn't a bad move. Not a lot of volume now. 1.1 billion doesn't look like that much on this chart. VAR, higher price. The CODX, look at this. Continued long uptrend. Spike. Now what it's going to do? All right, there's your first technical pattern here. Trend line. Spike. Back to another trend line. Spike. And where's this going to go? Probably fade back. Unless we get a real breakout again, like this really puts in some candles. Volume's increasing now. So now here's another one. See the pre-market? This started lower. And it's moving higher here. So it didn't start here, pre-market. It started lower. That's what you want. That's your best chance on these gap ups. Held nice 26 line. 28. This was a nice long here. CODX. What was the news here? FDA news maybe. PWFL, not a lot of volume. IGC, India globalization. Look at this 65. Look at all these spikes on this. I had lines here. Look at this spike, spike. good volume on out there. So this might do something to $1. I wouldn't be surprised. Look at this. Big coming out of descending triangle. Yeah, probably happy. All right, so that's your top gainers. Again, small caps leading the way. Yeah, $3, $2, 1, 3, 2, 5, 4. The top, all the top stocks, top. My trade ideas like top 50, pretty much all under 20. So they're leading the way now. The market has been going up. Like today we're up. Dow Jones 36, S&P 23, Nasdaq 157, small caps 27 plus, VIX just a little bit minus 18, 24, 28. Commodities, gold 1979, silver 24.43, crude 40.84. So let's take a look at SPY. And there we go. I thought right here, like this held, you could say this. If it doesn't go down, you get support here, and we broke above. Stochastic's very high, so it's like we're going to challenge that, the previous high on the SPY. Nasdaq. And Nasdaq is blowing everything away. Look at this. It's just crazy. Every buy is a dip on the Nasdaq right now. It's too strong. There's too much work at home. This could last for, who knows, years. I mean, it's just crazy. Major gap up. That is the Nasdaq just on fire. Dow Jones. Dow Jones a little bit tougher here. See, SPY is stronger, so is Nasdaq. Look at this. Spike. We're trying to get above 27,000 again. So this has been more, and we're still going down here. So Dow Jones is interesting here. All right, let's take a look at some ETFs. Estelle really got clobbered today. 23, it's a nice $2 clobber. TZA, no bounce, man, this is crushed. FAS, this is crushed too. SCO, ultra short crude was up. UVXY, this is S&P, the VIX. You get a very small bounce here on the daily chart. So we never get above the 13s. 20 is clearly above the 13, so this is still going down. The VIX. The VIX is trying to hold that 24 line. See, it spiked right back. This one as low as 22.17. But we're still in that down from this spike. We might get a spike again, but very oversold, so we could get another spike soon. SVXY. Not much doing today. Oh, although this wasn't bad. This is, you draw your line here. This is tough to play. This is putting in massive candles though. Did break up a little bit. ERY. Not much doing there. To the long side. Put it drop down. UDAO. Spike here, came way back down, spike again. So very choppy trade, but peaks and valleys, that's where you make some big gains. SPXL, same thing. QQQ. This isn't this red to green, this little move here, and then over 122.50. Real quick gain though. You're getting on both sides like big ridges, so TNA is even better for longs. 29.50, 29.75, and this broke over to 31. So this is a better long here. TNA, FAS, not as good as Soxel. Yeah, gap up. LBAU. I called this one. I said this was oversold in the daily. I think my last video, still at 23. This is a falling wedge, and we broke up huge today. And where did we touch 1320 EMA? This is bio, so with all the coronavirus, this is going to test that again. There's like no doubt in my mind. I'm going to test that at 75. This is a good long today, right over 55. Little consolidation here, draw your line. Right over at 56, the low, 56.13. This is the 5 minute, 3 minute. Even better, right over 56.50. And then this really took off to 60. So the longs are still in favor. You're at 23.79 on stochastics. You're playing like 10 to 90, 20.80. This is a long way to go back to there. So this could be a big gainer. That's a nice candle. We'll see on that. It's looking good though. UCO. Still in this triangle here. Divergence is going down. Brent, never really looked at that. Brent oil. PRX. Just made a falling wedge breakout. Didn't really do a true, long. Now it's forming a reverse U instead of this way. It's backwards. So this could go to here, come back and double bottom for a breakout. Still very bearish. You have red over green here. It's trying to dive under before move up. RX, Stephen. This is one of my favorite boring stocks. Made that one spike back here. Now that's been it. It looks like a giant head and shoulders. Head, shoulder, shoulder. 10 is a huge mark here. You've done this before. Right back here. Touch the last 2 days here. Here, look at that. That's a nice hammer. Now we're at 21 stochastics, getting very oversold. We're almost getting below that 21 level. And look at the intraday move on this. If you caught this, this is a great trade. This is red. You're watching your pre-market, maybe draw your line here. And it's a triangle, and it's a descending triangle breakdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles red, huge volume. Your first green, there it is. On red to green and a washout, your first green candle's most likely going to be the long play. So, and you're putting your lines here, 10 cent, 5 cent. Right here, you could get to this line, which is a 10 line. And it starts to ride up. 5 minute, nothing, no sells right here, all the way up to 10.90. So you could get almost $1 on this. Let's see, if you did 10,000 shares times, let's say 84, it's 4,000 times 84. It's 3,300 today. That's on 5 cent. You can play this 10 cent maybe too. Give it to here. Here these wicks. So these wicks are pushing out the bottom. Still like this long. Go to the 4 hour. Let's see here. 4 hour. Bounce here again. Trying to come back up oversold. 2 hour or above. The moving average 30. Above again on the daily, still coming down, crossing down. So good 10 support. But this whole way down, see on here you get 13 over 20. This was a long as soon as this happened. And then we're so far above it. Look how far above here to 13, man. You knew this was coming down. This is pure momentum and a rocket. Then we crossed over. Now we have the 20 above the 13. So all these moves have been bearish because they can't break. You need to reverse that. You need the 13 crossover, which isn't happening right now. So keep an eye in. High up, like I said, favors to the downside at this point. Nail's been so strong. You're above, you're overbought buried, which is long, which is continued long. You have a 13 man, very strong against your 20, very strong here. So, this could drop back to here, but intraday, every day's been strong. But any news, I would be careful up here. I like a pullback on that. All right, let's get to the favorites, the cyclicals. Look at Cup getting destroyed. Shipping really getting buried here. Could be a buy scene because they're really getting smoked. NCLH2, RCL coming way down, CCL, they're all breaking the trend line. They're very oversold and they're continuing right now. So there's no savior for anything right at this point. JetBlue, okay, these are sort of hovering here, not doing much. HA still going down. There's no rally in airlines or cruise liners at this point. Then fake breakout. Right here is a nice move, and look at that. Coming down. Ruth, same thing. DL, and then Bloomin' Brands coming down. They reached their high here, so they're not looking good. MFA, Holding Hall, IDR, oversold here. So they're not looking good either. So what that means is, I mean, you trade them to the downside, which isn't good because they could pop at any day. Any type of good news and they could pop and you're smoked. So, but you find them long right now, they're not doing much. So small caps is where it's at. And ETFs, you know, you get big bounces either way, ETFs. I mean, that's the move right now. And then individual stocks, so you can pick them out. Win, bouncing, holding that 70 level. LBS, trying to hold this level too. Okay, here's the flying wedge. Flying wedge just broke out nicely. A few fake out moves here. So, CMAs are back and forth too. They're not really showing much. So that's where we stand. Yeah, the market's very high up here, the SPY. And we're near long-term highs again on the SPY. Bringing this line out. This line's no good no more. It's more of a breakout like that. I'm just having one line here because look at this. Up, came back down, chopped all over, came back down here. May, shot up. That's when everything moved. Got down, your reverse U, and then we support 300. Then we, you know, we chopped around, but we were moving higher. As we chopped around, the lows never really moved much. These are 13s over your 20 EMA, and now we're at 328 now. And yeah, this is back to all-time highs. The volume too is, looks like it's decreasing. Draw your line, which is getting really low, which means right here, the way I'm drawing this, September, October, could be a breakout, which means this could go here, be double top, and then come really hard down. That would make more sense to me than a breakout. So we'll see there. But there's so many good moves right now. Small cap land, they're making nice moves. ETFs, they're getting big ridges. Then some individual stocks. So SFX. This is a falling wedge too. This is at a 958 on stochastics. You can only go as low as, I don't know, like negative. My chart will go maybe negative. It looks like 6 or something. But you don't really get that low. And this has gone from a high 30.44 all the way down to 22.57 is low. So this is going to break up. There's going to be some news this breaks hard with a big candle of like 24. Look at this. Longs are favored here. Long bias is favored at this point. You're not going to short this much more. So that's SFX. Love that long. PEI, Pennsylvania Trust. And this really gets smoked here. I thought this was breaking up. This might come back to 1. So this wasn't good. This looked like a breakout of this trend line, and disappointedness, distrust. So we're in this mode. This might get a 1 then. This put in this really big candle. I would look for a 1 bounce. That was one of my swing ideas too. Not good here. The news in this? Not really. Let me look too. I'm looking for another stock. Oh. I gotta find. I lost it. It was OM something. OMI. Was it OMI? No, it wasn't OMI. Something with an O is very oversold. But anyway. But I still like Stitch Fix more. Looking at my other chart. For swinging, see the 200 day. Let me get to this chart. There it is. See the 200 bounce right off it. Now we bounce off the 150. You have here the 100 day. I mean, how low is this going to go for a bounce? Every time it's bounced. So look at this bounce. Eventually, it will bounce. You're holding this. You have divergence here on your stochastics. Not extreme oversold yet. So this is better. PEI is more of a garbage play, dollar play. You be careful with that. It will bounce, but who knows how long that'll take at this point. The Stitch Fix. SPY. See the SPY right here? MACD is very is sideways at this point. They were oversold, overbought, buried stochastics. Wider's RSI. Trying to cross over again. Elliott wave. It's more of a slower, longer term trend indicator. Very bullish. We're getting far away from the 200 day. Look at this. We're about 24 on the 50 days. It's very far away. We might come and test that high. I love that. A double top, 1, 2, and a drop hard. Just drop. So we'll see on that. Here's your clean chart. Here's my 20. It's just tough. Oh, NKLA. Sava. Let me look at that. NKLA called this too. Stock Twits, made my other videos. Look at this move. This is a falling wedge 2. After a huge move up. Found support looks like 30. You have a big gap here still. Still's got over your 13 and 20 EMA, but you're about 10 here in stochastic. So electric vehicle space is hot. They're going to continue to be hot. And you had a nice move pre-market. You had over 32. And then draw your trend line here. And then over 31.50. Beautiful crossover. 36.50 right now. So this is a great long. This is, I like this. Let me put this on my chart here. NKLA for swing. Yeah, 1071, negative 55, CCI, ready to cross over MACD. Okay, this is looking better long. Your 100 day is at 3187 on NKLA. Like that, Stitch Fix, NKLA. PEI has been a bummer. I thought there's a penny stock that might really explode, but it seems like that'll have to move with the market or some financial news. So that is on that. Electric vehicle space is hot with all the Tesla and everything like that in America. They're trying to convert to all electric vehicles, so it's going to continue at this point. All right, so let's wrap it up for today. You know, market remains strong. Overall market, small caps are just the last few months. It's where it's at. Unless the market rallies and all these like cyclicals start to move too, individual stocks are good, and certain areas like the electric space, you get great bounces. You know, individual stocks, bio stocks with anything to do with COVID. So that's your area right now. All right, so that's it. Please subscribe to the channel and like, and we'll be back tomorrow for more and more of stock information charts. And that is it. Peace out, everyone. Take care.